It began 5 years ago. A chance encountered at a friend's birthday party. Tunde was charming, ambitious, and full of sweet promises that made Lara feel like the most cherished woman in the world. They had a whirlwind romance, late night talks, weekend getaways, and dreams woven together like an intricate tapestry. Tunde would often hold Lara close, whispering in her ears, "I will take you to the moon and back. Baby, I will give you heaven on earth." Lara, who had always been guarded with her heart, felt herself surrender to the intensity of his love. Their relationship grew so strong. Tunde had visited Lara's parents and siblings at different occasions with Lara. Everyone knew him as Lara's fiancé, but Tunde was yet to introduce Lara to his parents officially. When Lara found out she was pregnant, Tunde was thrilled. At least, that's what he said. They dreamed of raising their child together, of creating a beautiful home filled with love and laughter. Tunde promised to stand by her side, even as Lara swelled with the evidence of their love. During one date, Tunde tried to find out about Lara and her new state, how she was faring. "I can't wait to see how you will look at different trimester. I will see if you will look like all the pregnant ladies I have seen with their funny shapes of nose." Tunde, haba, just wait and see. I am not one of those pregnant ladies with funny shapes of nose. "We shall see then," Tunde said. "When will you register for antenatal?" "In 2 weeks' time." "Tunde, I think we should try to hasten things so that we can get married before our baby is born. Or what do you think?" "That's a very good one. Just give me a little time to first introduce you officially to my parents, and then we can fix a date for the introduction proper. But there's something I know too well. This is a girl you have in there. I can feel it strongly. I love baby girls." "Okay, sir. I prefer a baby boy." 2 weeks later, they went to the hospital together to register Lara for antenatal. Everyone noticed them in the hospital as they went to different departments together for tests and scan. But everything changed when a new lady, Ayo, joined the big firm Tunde worked for. Ayo was confident, sophisticated, and assertive. At first, it was just friendly comrades, lunch breaks, shared jokes, harmless conversations. Then, the harmlessness grew into lingering glances, late night meetings, and whispered conversations. Tunde began giving Lara excuses, work emergencies, unplanned business trips, late meetings. He missed doctor's appointments, forgot to check in, and his calls became infrequent. When Lara was due to deliver, Tunde was unreachable. The day she gave birth, he held their baby alone, tears mingling with the joy of becoming a mother. Tunde didn't show up. Days turned to weeks, and Lara realized she had been left alone, abandoned, with a child she had once thought they would raise together. Tunde, on the other hand, was enraptured by Ayo. She was everything he had begun to believe Lara no longer was: polished, successful, unburdened. One day, Lara tried Tunde's line and it went through. Tunde, Tunde, what's happening? You have suddenly stopped taking my calls, replying my messages, even the message I sent to let you know that our daughter had arrived. Lara, I'm very sorry. It's work. It's been so demanding. I barely have time for myself. I will make it up to you and our daughter. Tunde, I don't feel comfortable with these excuses. You haven't even called to come see our daughter. Is this the to the moon and back love you promised me? Is this the heaven on earth you promised to give to me? Lara, I have told you I will come see you and our daughter. Lara, I think I should let you know that I have gotten a new apartment. So, in case you tried visiting, when I come to see our daughter, I will let you know the location. Thank you. Please, I don't want you to be offended, but I just have to hang up right now because I have something very important to attend to and I need to submit a report. Please. Barely 10 months after Tunde's daughter was born, Tunde stood at the altar with Ayo, his new love. Friends and families gathered, showering blessings upon the couple. The church was adorned with flowers, filled with laughter and cheer. As the officiating minister got on the altar and led the couple into exchanging their vows. At a point, he asked, "Is there anyone here who has any reason why these two should not be joined together as husband and wife in the congregation? Such person should rise up and say." Is there anyone here who knows a reason why these two should not be joined as husband and wife? Speak now or forever hold your peace. At the end of their vows, the officiating minister declared them husband and wife. The congregation erupted in applause when it was time for the offering. The guests danced joyfully to the front, dropping their envelopes. A minister came up and announced that it is time for the husband and wife to sign their marriage certificates. As the couple danced to the officiating room to sign their certificate, witnessed by both parents, after which the couple and their parents danced back into the church auditorium. choruses were still on when Lara, her steps measured, her eyes unwavering. In her arms was the baby, a beautiful little girl with Tunde's eyes and his unmistakable dimple. She approached the offering basket, placed the child inside, and gently placed a folded letter on the baby's chest. The choir singing faltered, eyes widened, whispers spread like wildfire. An usher reached out to stop her, but Lara's voice cut through the tension, clear, raw, and defiant. That's your child, Tunde, your daughter, a worthy offering to the Lord. The church fell into stunned silence. Tunde's face went pale. His mouth parted in shock. Ayo's eyes darted between Tunde and the baby, her fingers clutching a bouquet tightly. Tunde's mother gasped, clutching her chest as if she couldn't breathe. The officiating minister, caught off guard, stuttered in confusion. The whispers grew louder. Did Tunde have a child? Who is this woman? What does this mean? Tunde's legs felt rooted to the ground. Ayo's face had morphed from confusion to betrayal as she stepped back, distancing herself from Tunde. The letter on the baby's chest was snatched by one of the ushers and handed to Tunde. His trembling hands unfolded it. Dear Tunde, this is the heaven on earth you promised me, the child you ignored, the life you abandoned. Today, I give her back to you, not as a curse, but as a reminder of the promises you made and broke. I am done waiting for you to own your responsibility. May God judge between us. Tunde's grip on the paper tightened, his mind a chaotic mess. The echoes of judgment, the betrayer stares, Ayo's tear-filled eyes, all pressed in on him. Lara turned away, her heart heavy yet liberated. She had carried the weight of betrayal and abandonment for too long. Today, in front of all who once celebrated Tunde, she had unburdened herself. The child lay in the offering basket, innocent and oblivious. Tunde, the man who once promised heaven and earth, stood paralyzed by the consequences of his broken vows. The church, once filled with celebration, now simmered with scandal. And Lara, she walked out of the church, her steps steady, her heart resolute. She had made her offering an offering of truth. Chaos erupted in the church. The once harmonious congregation now split between murmurs of disbelief and open condemnation. The choir, frozen with a hymn half sung, watched as Tunde staggered back, eyes darting from the baby to Ayo and back to the damning letter in his hands. Ayo's face was a portrait of shock and betrayal. The woman who had envisioned a flawless future with the man she loved now stared at the undeniable proof of his past, an innocent child, abandoned, yet publicly reclaimed. Her grip on the bouquet tightened until her knuckles whitened. Her bridesmaid shifted uncomfortably, uncertain whether to approach her or to keep their distance. Tunde's mother was the first to move, her head held high. She walked to the offering basket, lifting the child gently into her arms. The baby looked up at her with wide, innocent eyes, eyes that mirrored Tunde's. The grandmother's heart softened, but the shame of the spectacle weighed heavily on her shoulders. "Mama Tunde, what is this?" one of the elders whispered, but she ignored them, cradling the child protectively. Tunde approached Ayo, his hands trembling. "Ayo, I didn't know. I thought..." "You thought what, Tunde? That your past wouldn't haunt you? That you could lie to me, to everyone, and it would stay buried?" Ayo's voice was icy, the betrayer stuck in her eyes. Before he could respond, Ayo tossed the bouquet at his feet and turned away, her heels echoing against the church-tiled floor. Her parents followed quickly, faces shadowed with humiliation. Guests began to whisper louder, already streaming out of the church, eager to spread the news. The officiating minister, still stunned, attempted to regain control. "Let us all remain calm. This is the house of the Lord." But the damage was done. The celebration had transformed into a scandal that would haunt the community for years. That night, Tunde sat alone in his sparsely decorated marital home, now stripped of joy. The wedding reception had been cancelled. The caterers had left with untouched food. The decorators had begun tearing down the once vibrant decor, and Ayo had locked herself in her parents' home, refusing to speak to anyone. Tunde's phone buzzed endlessly. Messages from colleagues, family members, friends, his workplace, the prestigious firm that had once celebrated his engagement to Ayo was now a hotbed of gossip. His superior called the next morning, stern and direct. "Tunde, we need to discuss the image you've brought to this company. Your actions have raised serious concerns." Tunde knew what that meant: suspension, investigation, and possibly termination. The firm prided itself on integrity, and a scandal had become an open sore. His mother, burdened by the shame, yet determined to protect her grandchild, took the baby in. Tunde's father barely spoke to him, choosing silence over confrontation. His siblings distanced themselves, unwilling to be entangled in the mess. Days turned into weeks. Ayo, still reeling from the humiliation, struggled with her heartache and fury. Friends and family suggested annulment, urging her to sever ties with the man who had betrayed her so deeply. Yet, there was a part of her that wrestled with the years she had invested, the dreams of a future now tainted by betrayal. Tunde visited her parents' house multiple times, begging to speak to Ayo, but they barred him from entering. Eventually, after weeks of ignoring his calls, Ayo agreed to meet. They sat at a quiet cafe. The tension thick. Tunde, I thought I knew you. I trusted you with my heart, my future. How could you hide something so monumental from me? Her voice trembled, but her eyes remained resolute. I didn't think Lara would do something so extreme. Tunde mumbled. Shame etched across his face. I thought I could move on. I thought that you could pretend your past didn't exist, that abandoning your own child wouldn't come back to you. Ayo's voice rose, drawing glances from nearby tables. In that moment, she saw the man before her not as the ambitious, charming partner she had loved, but as a deeply flawed, broken individual. She stood up slowly, a decision made. Tunde, I need time. I need time to think about what this means for me, what it means for us right now. I can't pretend everything is fine. Far away across the ocean, Lara began a new chapter. She had accepted a scholarship for a master's program, an opportunity she had once considered, declining the hope of building a family with Tunde. The scandal had spread back to her, messages of pity and judgment trickling through friends who still kept in touch. But in a new city, surrounded by people who knew nothing of her past, she began to heal. Her daughter was safe with Tunde's mother, a relationship she maintained for the sake of the child. Tunde occasionally reached out, but their conversations were brief and focused solely on the child's well-being. For Lara, the act of leaving her daughter in that offering basket had been a desperate cry, a symbol of reclaiming herself from the ashes of betrayal. She no longer carried the weight of Tunde's neglect. Her future was hers to mold. Months later, Ayo made a choice. She agreed to counseling, reluctantly opening the door to Tunde's remorse. Their relationship was strained. Scared by the public scandal, the firm had already suspended Tunde, and Ayo's reputation had taken a hit by association. Their marriage, fragile and uncertain, remained more a symbol of endurance than love. Trust, once easily broken, was now guarded. Tunde's relationship with his daughter was limited, occasional visits supervised by his mother. The girl's innocent laughter was a reminder of his failures, but also a chance for redemption. Years later, As Tunde watched his daughter play in his mother's garden, the laughter echoing softly, he realized the magnitude of the life he had chartered, the woman he had promised heaven and earth, had found her peace far from him. The woman he had promised forever stood beside him, but the cracks in their foundation remained. The world no longer whispered about the woman who left a child in the offering basket. But for Tunde, the memory remained a haunting reminder of the life he had abandoned. He regretted every step of the action he took towards Lara. He had learned a great lesson never to make promises that he cannot keep, and never to break vows that have been made. He turned to Ayo. I am very sorry. I know that there is no way I can clean up the mess publicly, but I'm promising you today, take me by my words. I promise to make everything right with you. Thank you for standing by me. Thank you for not leaving me at a time like this. I have learned my lessons, and never will I make such mistakes again. Fell on her shoulders. I love you, Ayo. I love you with the whole of my heart. I love you for who you are. I love you for being the kind of woman with a large heart that you are. I love you, my baby. What a story. Thank you for watching my story. This is African Tales by Ewa. If you enjoy the stories that I share and you would like to support me grow my channel, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Like. Don't forget to share the story with your loved ones. And if you wish to support me, you can buy me a super thanks. I appreciate your time spent on my channel. I do not take your support for granted. Until I come again your way with another interesting and educating story. Bye for now.